It is Thursday. It's the Ascension Day here in Sweden, and I'm off work, which is a weird feeling. Um, my family is still asleep, which is also an odd thing, um, because it's almost 10 o'clock. Not really, but still. Um, and I just can't, I can't help myself. I feel like coding a little bit. So let's code. And I have a few friends, or dare I say that? I don't know. I have a few colleagues, students with me. Not sure if they would um, agree on the term friends today, um, but we'll see about that. Can you say hi, guys, so I can just check if the sound is working? The sound is not working, so let's check that. Hold on a sec. So we're just gonna say sound here. Hello UT61. Did you abandon the other stream for us? That's nice. That's nice. I think you're gonna have to talk a little bit more, guys. Why is this not working? Really? This is. I hate when this happens. Uh, well, perhaps you won't be able to join in. Let me just check my sound settings here one last time. Otherwise, you're gonna have to chat with me on stream. Let's see. Högtalare multi. There you go. Now, if you say a few more things now.
Hello?
Now you are there. Good stuff. All right, so we got that one out of the way. What are we doing, folks? We are gonna develop a piece of functionality that deals with authentication and authorization, and we are in the domain of what? Of Ruby on Rails, right?
Sorry, Thomas. Can you share the screen
No,
here
I
too?
cannot. You can join me on stream.
I am there.
And you should be sharing your, you should be seeing my screen on Twitch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you. No, because I can't do that, because if I do, then my performance will go down a lot. So you're gonna have to check this stream today, unfortunately. Not everyone is there because only, but you will hopefully join as soon as possible. All right, so we have a fantastic application that is called Fake News API, right? And I will fork this one and make sure to set it up on my computer. Right. Let's move this over here, and we're gonna do CD projects, and then we're just gonna clone this baby down, and so we will work on a shared code base, which means that I forked it on GitHub, and I just gonna do git clone to my local host and cd into this guy and do run bundle. And in the meantime, I will just navigate back to this, grab this code, this URL, sorry, and git remote add upstream, and just add this one guy, and we installed bundle. We installed all the dependencies. Awesome. So we're gonna do Rails db create and db migrate, and I could do db setup, but I did it differently. I'm slowly approaching Redux in my project. I guess I'll get to know a bit earlier with this stream. I already got my hands dirty with lifting. Right. Today we will work on Ruby on Rails, totally on the back end, not touching React. Perhaps later today, I don't know. Perhaps you guys want to do some React development as well. Who knows? Now, I'm just gonna run through our spec to see if we are good to go. Right, right.
There's a small mistake in our spec file. It's dot spec and should be underscore spec.
Right,
That's why you don't get everything.
right. Did the title did the title say React on my stream?
It's Redux, I think.
Does it? Really?
Redux, yeah.
Oh, I changed that. That's okay. So my stream thing is, oh gosh, uh, that's not cool. I'm sorry about that. Mm, right, I'm just gonna update this as soon as possible. I did update it before I streamed, but then my OBS software overwrote that, and it's a fucking mess. Yes. Right. Okay. Good. So, sorry, Lucas, you were saying that there was a small thingy. What's up?
Yeah, in our spec request spec,
Hmm?
we have a dot spec instead of an underscore spec, which means that it doesn't get picked up by Ruby when you do our spec now.
All right.
So we fix that later, but not in the
I can
development.
fix it now. Is it okay if I
Yeah,
fix it now?
exactly.
Okay. So I will just check out, and so then the results also should have valid factory. So you're not copy and pasting code now, are you, people? No.
What? No.
No. No. That's good because this message here is like taken straight out from our documentation, but it's okay.
Well, we're writing it. At
Yeah,
least there's
we
no
want to
copy
use
paste.
the is expected to format.
That's true.
Yeah, right. No, it's okay. I mean, I copy and paste sometimes, and I don't admit it either. That's okay. You see, when my kids were growing up, I used to tell them when they were lying to me, I say, guys, boys, never bullshit a bullshitter. Okay?
Yep.
Right. Okay. Master of clickbaits. Yeah, that's me. That's me. No, it's not.
True.
Right. Let's see. The what? What did I do? Oh shit! What did I do?
Right.
Oh. Oh wow! Right, the fucking disco, isn't it? Right? Yeah. Let's change
Wait,
this.
what?
I'm changing colors on my terminal. I happen to touch the touch bar on my computer. Never mind now. Let's move on. We are looking into a pivotal tracker story, right? So there is actually a pull request already on this one. So I will just code up an alternative version, and we'll see what's up. So API allows journalists to sign in to access dashboard. Right, to access dashboard. Okay.
We rewrote it a bit.
Right. And you did rewrite it? How did you rewrite it?
Before it was API supports admin authentication or journalist.
Right. Right.
So now
Right.
there's a
Is it okay if I just like for the sake of this demo, we will produce a little bit of code, but I will just break like pretend that this doesn't exist yet, okay?
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So what I would do here probably is to write let's just create a new branch. Let's go technical first. So git checkout a new branch, and then I will just call this branch user or role based authentication. Role based authentication. Okay. And I'm really gonna improvise this a little bit, so bear with me, okay? And perhaps you can pick up something. And I also ask Luke, where is he? I miss him. Uh, right. Let's open this one up here. Right. Oops. No, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to make this larger. Right. So we have something like a request spec here that is not being picked up.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna rename this to an underscore. Right,
That's
and just gonna run this. Yeah, why is this showing up? Do we know that?
unresolved.
No, we don't.
I'm
That's
not
okay.
sure. Let me try.
Let's just do gem clean up,
Mm.
and let's run this again and see if this still goes up. It does. Okay. It's not a biggie, but
Just a warning.
it's just a warning, right? I'm warning you, Thomas. Okay. Let's go to the model spec and just go here, article spec, and then we just do here is expected to. I like this. This is nice. This is nice. Hej Gigius. Okay, jag jobbar lite grann, okay? All right. That was my son. This is nice. This is very nice. This is very nice. Awesome. 204. Success is the return. Right, to have length. Is this properly spelled? Okay, perhaps it is. Right. Okay. Good stuff. Right. Okay. Okay. So let's start writing let's start writing a spec here. So we can say that something that can allow creation of articles based on user role underscore spec dot rb. Right.
So we're taking it down the line of creating articles.
Well, we will not actually create an article yet, but we will just allow for it to happen. Do you understand? That's my idea here.
Okay.
Because on the API side, you don't really so there are different ways of approaching this, but on the API side, you don't really see a dashboard or anything like that because there's no user interface, right?
Sure.
Of course. But what we could do is to we could take another path actually, because so the interesting thing here is that you are working toward one. Yeah, let me talk you through this idea. You are working toward one API using two different clients, right?
Mm.
Okay, so one way we could approach this is to say that if you are trying to authenticate using a client that is the admin client, then you should be prompted for, well, you should be allowed to do that if you are a journalist.
Yes.
And if you're trying to approach this from a different type of client, like, not an admin client, then you're not allowed. That would be actually the lowest hanging fruit, to be honest, here.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, but we couldn't really see how to, because we thought we had to.
Well, that's another question. The how question comes later. I don't see how to either. I just came up with this idea. I have no fucking clue how to do that.
Right.
But that's another thing. We can figure it out.
That would be awesome.
Probably. So let's do that. So let's rename this spec file. Can allow authentication. Can authenticate user. You can authenticate based on user role and source. Okay, and client source. Yes. So we will take into account two different things. We will look at the user, and we will also look at does this user come from. Yes, that would be actually
like
a nice thing. So let's see. RSpec describe and so we are making a post request, right, to the API auth. That's the route we will look at. Okay, and so let's think about the users that we will work with in this entire test block, and this is how I approach these things, right? So we will say let should we call him regular user, right? And that would be create a user out of the box. We can say, I don't know, we can say role, perhaps consumer or something like that. That would be the reader. So for those who are not familiar with the domain here, we're building an API that will serve news articles and stuff for regular users. So we're building like a news site, but we're also building an interface or a system for editorial. For the editorial staff to actually produce news and stuff like that. Anyway, so this one will be a journalist, right? And that will be create user, and we will say role journalist. Okay, so if we have these two guys, so we could have a describe block. We can have a describe block for as a consumer, and then we could have another describe block as a journalist, right? Right. Okay. So in this describe block, we will do a before action. Why do I not get? No, I did not. Well,
I think it's before do.
Right. Sorry, I forget where I am. I thought I was in JavaScript. I'm also tired.
I know that.
Yeah. Okay, so we can do a post request to the API auth path, and then we will send in some params, right? And the params would be email, that would be something, and then password, that would be something, right? And we're gonna do the same thing here. So we need to be in control of this, so we're gonna send in that to our factory as well. So we're using factory bot to create that. These are set by default, but in this case I want them to be actually defined by me. So I'm going to say email. I'm going to say ordinary guy at random.com. Right. And password, we need to set a password. Or is password or something? in the, oh, well, we don't have a factory yet. Okay, so but we just want that that thing, and here we want to say Pulitzer Prize, guy. That's the name of that award, Pulitzer Prize, right? That's the journalist at random.com. Okay, so this will be those two roles. So here I want to just log in as the ordinary guy, and here I want to log in as the Pulitzer Prize winning thing, and we're just going to set password on this one as a random thing, and I'm going to set this in the factory. Okay, so but you see, my idea was that we were to tell tell our application where we come from, right? So we will say source admin dashboard or something, admin system or something, right? And I'm going to do the same thing here, pretty much, right? So I'm just going to send this off as parameters, right? You're saying something, Kim, or I don't know if you're saying it to me or in another meet, or no? You're moving your lips, but you're not talking to me. Okay, cool.
Not talking to me.
Does that make sense? So we will tell this guy that we're coming from the admin system, right? Which means that we will probably have to write another spec where we are coming from, like a, like the news site or something like that.
Public client.
Public client or whatever we want to call this, right?
Right.
Right. So then we just say it is, well, we can just do this. Expect a response to have HTTP status for, what is it, 401 on unauthorized, or 402 or 401?
401 is unauthenticated.
That's unauthorized, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this guy would have well, to start with, we can just do 204. Do you understand? So I mean, I'm going to change that later, but 204 means empty response, right? Yeah, I can change that later, but let's start to run these things, because this is enough for us to actually start running the tests. We have two different roles, and we have two type of responses.
You give them the same source, and you unauthorize one of them, and you give
because the ordinary guy shouldn't be able to log in.
All right. Yes.
Even though they both exist, this guy should not be able to do that. Yeah. Okay, so
interesting.
Is Seva asking me questions right now in Slack for his stuff? It's okay, but I'm in the middle of a stream, so
he's in his own bubble, maybe.
Okay. Oh, he mentioned you as well, so that's okay. You're also here now, so let's pay attention to this one. And so I would actually like you guys to pay attention to this one, because I'm doing things that you haven't done before, so it would be, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. You can share that knowledge later, I guess. All right, let's run this. So our spec, request specs, and API user can, API user can, what? Can authenticate. Right, so let's run this. This really bugs me out, right? Okay, so factory not registered user. Okay, so we need to, let me just move this out of the way. and we want to do that. So we're gonna add gem, and we're just gonna do this gem device token auth here. We will add it here and bundle up, and we're gonna do something, right? We're gonna run what is it? Just Rails generate device.
I'm not. Did you add the gem? I don't think we did it on this.
I did that. I just did that.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry.
That's what I mean. If you're with me, then that's okay. I love you.
You're awake,
API auth. So this is the
slash.
right. He shouldn't have to put in an empty object in the root reducer. He shouldn't put in anything in the root reducer. Actually, I think I'm not there, so I should probably shut up.
I don't know either.
Right. So here we are. We created this initializes device token auth. We probably need to change a few settings there. Control this application controller. GSub routes. Right. So we're gonna change that. And we have the migration, and we have the use. So just do Rails. We can do Rails DB migrate first.
Do we need
What?
the role and stuff, or will you add that later?
We will add that. And we're gonna go right. Right. So we need to change this guy. We're gonna change this guy to include. What was it? Include device.
The extend.
Extend, right? Extend device model, right? Or what is it?
Yeah.
I think it's device model, but I'm not sure.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, models.
Okay. And we wanted to delete something from the migration as well. Now that I remember. So we want to. What was it? We wanted to remove something here, right? Or do you want? So we.
The nickname and stuff. I think user info.
Right. So we can actually modify this now. So we wanted, what was it? We wanted a role, right? Now the question is, so I shouldn't do that actually here. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to create a new migration because otherwise it's going to be hard to follow, right? So I'm just going to remove this. Provider received confirmation, but there wasn't it? Shouldn't we remove the confirmation stuff or something? No.
I don't.
No, perhaps
Usually
not.
we just add these things that I sent on Slack.
You did?
Yeah.
On.
I'm sorry, but I am usually copy pasting these.
No, it's okay. Right. Yeah, we need. Yeah. Yes, because this is a problem. Right. It's okay. I'm gonna copy paste this as well. So we're just gonna change this. Right. I remember this now. It's coming back to me. Slowly, but it's coming back to me. So let's see if we can run the migration now. It did, but we're running. So gem update bundler.
Blacklist. Unsafe attributes for serialization.
Can I do this? Right. Okay. in the meantime, where was I? Right, so I should just be, let's run this. No, not the entire thing. Oh God, um, I'm just gonna run this one, and we should get another error message now, or not. Factory not registered for user. Okay, thank you. Right, because we need to. Right. No factory for user. Why not? Why is there no factory for user? Shouldn't the device token auth generate a factory for us? No.
It does. It didn't do it for us either. No. Apparently.
Right. Factory bot define. What's the right? Do and factory user do, right? Something like that, or what? I haven't written a factory in ages. Right, and then we just do email, and then we just do, random at random.com, and password will be password. Right. Okay, so now we should. Huh?
I think you might need confirmation also for creation.
We'll see.
Yes.
Bloody heat on. What is heat on? What is heat on? Right. So we have a undefined method role for user ID. Okay. So we are not. We can't use this factory yet because we have a role. So we're just gonna do. And really, this is really weird because there's something not quite okay with the setup. You see, I didn't get a model spec either.
Mm-mm.
Do you understand? So there's something not quite correct here. I should be able to get those specs. Let me just check that for you if you were a little too thorough in the application. RB helper route request specs controller specs. No, you did set up everything here.
I mean, we get the model and the factory with a normal generation with the article.
Really?
But not with the device token.
Right, that's weird.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, well, it is what it is, right? So there is actually a generator for that. Let me check that. Rails G. So I don't have to tape this myself because I'm lazy. Right. Rails G RSpec model user. Let's try that. Right, there's a conflict.
Oh, it creates a factory too.
Yeah, it creates a factory too. Right, so I'm just going to say node. Right, because I already created the factory. So now we should get a model users. There we go. There's, sorry, here, right? Right, and again, we don't need this at all. And we will say, describe DB table. And that will do it is expected to have DB table. I'm just going to say role because the other things are there already. I know that of type integer. And I'm just going to say describe.
You wrote DB column, But is that
Yeah, column.
same?
Sorry.
Okay.
And here we'll say describe factory. It is expected to have a default factory. The reason I'm saying default factory here is because I'm going to probably create sub-factories for consumers and editorial stuff later. But that's a little bit of premature optimization in this case. But I just gonna it's just a message. So we will say expect create user to be valid. Can we say that? I don't know. Let's try that. So let's do rspec spec models user.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, because this one is passing, and I didn't add a role to it yet. So yes, okay. But this one is succeeded to have a DB column. So now I do the Rails generate migration, and then we say add role to users, and then we're going to say role integer. Right, and then we're just going to do Rails DB migrate. And now we just run this spec again, and we should go green on this guy now. Yes, okay, so now we should go green. Oh no, sorry, not go green, but have a different error message on the acceptance list. And this is, you've seen me do this before. This is the jumping from the outer circle into the inner circle of this thing. When you look at tests, basically, right? So, right. So expect the response to have HTTP status 402, but go at 422 unprocessable entity. Right. 422. Right. It got an unprocessable entity and unprocessable request. Okay, so we need to do a bit of an override here. Okay, so we need to take a look at the device token auth gem.
That's the interesting part.
That's the interesting part. Yeah. Right. So here we can see that the app has some controllers, and we have a sessions controller, right? And that would be the device token auth session controller. So the way we override that, we want to use our own controller basically, and the create action of that controller. Okay, so the way we override that is that we gonna create right. Let's see how I can go about this properly. So let's clear this up and do Rails generate a controller, and we're gonna create that in the you have an API. Right, you have an API namespace. It's not really necessary to have the API namespace, but it's okay. We can work with that, because you can have a namespace. We tell you a lot of things, but there's no one single way of doing stuff. But it's okay. We're gonna go for this now. So we're gonna say API, and then we're gonna call this guy sessions controller. Right. So just to avoid making any things, so we're gonna avoid that sessions controller. So I'm gonna create that controller, but I'm gonna inherit from. I'm not gonna inherit from the application controller, but rather from the device token auth sessions controller. Do you understand? And then I'm gonna create a create action,
Oh.
and I'm gonna go just set a binding pry here, and then I'm gonna call super on it. And I told you about the super class before when we talked about Ruby. So super will basically look up in the inheritance chain and just continue to execute the code on any other method that is named the same thing as what we are overriding. And that is possible because we are inheriting from the device token auth sessions controller. Yeah, but we need to tell our application to actually use this. So we need to go to our setup. Damn it, where are you? Where are our routes? Jesus, it's early in the morning. No, it is not early in the morning, Thomas. Right, so we're going to say controllers here, and we're going to say sessions, and that would be to API sessions. Right. And so now, if this works, I'm overriding the default functionality, saying that do not use the sessions controller for from device token out, but rather use my own controller. So this is also referred to sometimes as monkey patching the thing. All right. So let's see if this actually worked. And there is one and only one way to check it, to be honest, and that is in test environment, right? So we're going to run this acceptance test or request spec or whatever you want to call it, and nothing worked, so that didn't fly. Control the sessions, API sessions. Right. Why not? Well, because I did something wrong, probably, right? So device over or use own controllers. Use own controllers. Device. Yeah, that's exactly how I did that. That's exactly how I did that. Do I have to say those two dots here before? Why would I have to do that? It is the create. The. No. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
A bit of mystery, isn't it? At API controllers, and that's exactly how we say.
To write path.
Huh?
You have to put in path. For the
He's using
controllers.
path, but there might be an old.
That's a different.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's, like putting a path for it. So
No, but the path that's at, you know. So you mean like if I change this, but that's not. That shouldn't be it. I'm gonna try it just because so I don't end up like a schmuck, and that is this after 2 hours of debugging. No.
Okay.
No route. See, now we don't get a route either.
All right.
Right. So no, that's not it. Set. Let's have a look. Perhaps there's a different setting for this. Documentation. We have the boundaries. Here's a demo. Sponsors. Where's the docs? There's no docs? Are you shit? Right. There must be some docs.
Yeah. Up. If you go up, I
Here,
think.
I think.
Where?
There in the folders up. If you go up.
There it is.
Text.
Instant password area security usage config. Let's have a look at the config. Course device.
There's a usage. Yeah. Inside of usage, there's one called overrides.
Oh, really? There you go. Let's have a look at that. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what we did.
Yeah, you literally did. Macho.
That's exactly what we did. Overrides. Yeah. Device token. That's exactly what we did. So is that... Let's... So, the... Wait, are we overriding the wrong controller then?
Mm-hmm. Token
We must be overriding the wrong controller. Password registration session token. Token about OmniAuth passwords registration sessions. It must be sessions. What else could it be?
Mm.
And it must be the create. Should we just override the new? Let's do that. Create. No, sorry. Def new. Perhaps I'm just doing it wrong here. Let's run the test again on line 14, so we don't run both of them. No. I mean, did I misspell create? No. Sessions controller. Session device token auth. Device token of there. This is a mystery to me.
He has it in a folder called overrides. Does that?
No, well, but I am pointing to API, so it's I don't have to have overrides.
Mm-hmm.
API sessions. Did I misspell something here? API sessions. And you have Pry installed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just remove the super for the time being. No. Right. Application arm. Right. Let's have a look again on the routes. We were missing. It's like a very small thing somewhere that we just mount device token out for API auth controllers sessions API sessions. And how did he do that here? On the docs, usage overrides, mount user for user, right, at auth, right, and we're just doing that. And the controllers token registration render new error rendering, right, sessions and API sessions. Right, so this is device token or register, but we're not registering, right? I mean, this is not a registration thing, is it? We're just logging in, right?
Should be. No, yeah.
Let's just... Oh, no, this is... Oh, fuck. Oh. It is. It is the wrong path. We're looking at this from the wrong perspective. It is sign in. We are hitting the registration path.
What? But
we have to like get and sign?
No, we need to make a post request. Oh fuck. We need to make a post request to
Because we're doing a sign-in now, or like,
yeah.
okay.
This is not a registration.
Mm.
Now we will be in that method. Yes, of course. This is the sign-in.
Good.
Right.
Okay.
Good call.
All right. So we have params, and we are imitating the password source admin system. Right. Okay. So right. So let's have a look at. Okay, so we're in the right place now. That's good. Resource, do something. Resource. Right. So we can now take a look at that controller. What is it that they are actually doing in that controller? So we just go to the sessions controller, and the create action is quite big. So we need to create a review. So let's see what this is doing for us. We're just gonna go from the top and see what these functions are actually doing for us. Right. So this one needs to be there. So we're gonna add that. I don't really know what it's doing so far. We can cut away some code later. So we can just remove this. We're gonna do this, and then we will say field resource param key maps to sim resource class. Right, authentication keys. Okay, authentication keys is by mail. So we're gonna say resource equals resource user find by email, find by and then field and params field to symbol. Right, let's see if this works. So field is email, right? So we would just say find by this argument type email symbol. So okay, so field is email and params field to sim. Oh, we don't need that. Right, so find by. So why wouldn't this work? So field to sim, or we can simplify this without to sim, I guess. Right, so params field. But why wouldn't find by work for me? And now you go like, oh, I would never have done this. Well, you know, we just chose this. We don't have to do this way because but we chose to look at the source. You understand? That's why we need to override these things. There are probably a simpler way to do this. Find resource. What is find resource? Can we say that? Find resource. Sorry. Right. So we have find resource. Field Q value. What is Q value? Well, we can just reuse this. If field.
Isn't this what you would use the super for?
Yeah, but I want to.
But yeah, I don't know.
No. You're right, but let's see. What could get case sensitive field from resource params? Field get but the thing is that we need the resource first before we even call super on it. You see, you know why they are doing this get case insensitive field? Because sometimes users have a tendency to type the email with a capital letter in the beginning, and you have to normalize that, probably.
Right.
That's my theory, at least. So we're just gonna say this, and then find resource. So now we should be able to find the resource. Right, we got the resource now, so we're just gonna use the same thing here. And now we will say if resource is consumer and params. I'm just gonna hack this together now. Params source equals what was it we called it? Admin system.
Yeah.
Right. If this is admin system, then we need to just get the fuck out of Dodge. Do you understand? And how do we do that in a nice way? So we just get out, right? So how do we do that? We do that. Render create error. We can say just render create error bad credentials. You understand? Right. We can probably do something else about it. Else we just use super, and we just pass in the resource. Hopefully. And this one will complain about this now. So we're gonna get an error on this consumer because we haven't set up the enum yet.
That's true. I was thinking, doesn't it make more sense to turn them around? So if it's a journalist,
probably.
Otherwise, everything else would get out of. Because I feel like.
Right. We could probably do that. Let's get this one to work, and then we work on that. Absolutely. Right, undefined method consumer, and that's pretty cool because the only thing we can do is to write a spec for this. There is a shooter matcher for this, I guess. Let's see. Define enum, right. Define enum matcher. So should define enum for, right, with values. I love it. Look, we can use that with values. Define enum for. Okay, so we should say go into the model spec, users spec Thomas. Describe role, and then it is expected to define enum for role with values, and we can say consumer would be 1 and journalist would be 2, for instance, right? We can change that later or something, right? So if we run the one on line 6, we had that here, right? This should fail for us now. Yes. So I'm just going to be very lazy here, and I'm just going to say where am I? Yeah, here I am. On the model, enum role. Is that how you do this?
I think so.
Right, let's try it. Well, the best way to figure out is to run the spec.
Or is it comma like that?
Perhaps no comma. Yeah, no comma. No comma? Let's try without a comma.
I think roll colon.
Could be. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. So is it good to define role as an enum backed by an integer value of consumer one? That's great. So those one-liners are beautiful. And I actually, just for FYI, I have a I have found a way to write Mocha tests with this kind of matchers. So there's like very similar matchers for JavaScript testing as well. Right. So now that we have that, let's run this baby. And yes, I need to add a question mark here to that sessions controller. Forgot about that. So let's do it again. Right. Hey.
Wait for one. Oh, because it's bad credentials, then it's automatically.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Super. Right. So then I'm just doing this wrong. Let's have a look. What did he do when he override this thing? We are like really nearing the end of this now, people. We're very, very close now. That's beautiful, folks. Resource super do.
Something extra.
But why? What really?
Just do super.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just try super on this one. Let's keep it as simple as possible. It was 200. Okay, so he's not responding with 200. Okay, so that's he is. I am not in control of that response, so I'm just going to change my thing here. This should be 200. You know, at this stage.
Okay.
Yeah, because I am not in control of what we are rendering here. Do you understand? So that's the thing. So we are effectively at this stage blocking the access to this thing.
That's actually really cool.
I'm a bit worried about. Hello, Luke and Seva. I'm a bit worried about these controller warnings. Line 13. Yeah, so this is connections config is deprecated. So this is not us, it's them. It's not me, it's you. Or vice versa. I don't know. So on issues, we're just gonna check this. Can we have a new version released, please? So we're not the only ones facing the same issue here. So we're probably gonna have to this have been fixed on master. So right. So we can fix that. Uh, we can fix that. We can fix that. We can fix. I'm gonna show you how we can. Damn, I sound confident now, right? I hate when because there's it's like a massive risk that this will actually fail. And I will stand there with my dick in my hands and not know what to do. So let's just go to the gem file and we do comma git hub this and then branch branch master. Is it the master branch? Yeah, master. Let's do master. Right. So we're just gonna do bundle update. The update and just lazy copy this because I always misspell this guy. There we go. So now we're not pulling it from the released version, but rather from the master version. Hopefully. We downgraded. Wow, that's weird. That's really weird. Perhaps we shouldn't have been doing this. Thank you. But we, boom, we fixed it. Right? No more warnings. Right. So, anything else?
That was pretty damn cool, actually.
Right. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. That's the story. And now we know that if you come from one source, then you can't do this. And so let's have a look at. Let's say that. So okay. Describe. No, let's. You know what? Let's do a commit first. Okay. Let's do a commit. Git status. Right. Git add. Git ci am allows users to into the system based on role if a request originates from admin. What did we call it? Admin system. What did we call it?
Yeah.
Admin system. Right. Admin system. System like this, and then the next one will be allows you to into the system based on role if request originates from whatever system. What should we call it? The consumer facing
Public site, I guess, something like that.
Okay, public site, yeah, admin system, and so we're gonna move these guys over there, right? And then I'm just gonna copy the entire thing, and I'm gonna say public system, right? Can we say that?
Yeah, I think so. I think that,
right. So we're just gonna change that, and we should allow all of them in, right? Both the journalists. We should probably give him free access to his own newspaper.
Wow.
Right. And so these guys should work out of the box. Yeah, they work out of the box. So we could, of course, elaborate with this setting here, with this conditional. So this is like moving forward, like if we could. I don't necessarily agree with Lucas. Lucas is gone now because he went to the bathroom, but I'm not agreeing with him anyway because I think this is the corner case, right? The one that should be at this stage. We have a journalist and a consumer, and I would say that the consumer should not be allowed into the admin system. So that's how why we're getting the fuck out of Dodge, basically, right? And Lucas had this idea about flipping this around, but then uh, let's say, and I don't want to go into too much premature optimization here, but let's say that you have another role editor and another role assistant or whatever. The only people that should be prevented from entering the admin system would be the consumers, right? So I'm making an argument against you, Lucas. Um,
Right.
yeah, I took the opportunity while you were
God damn.
away for a sec. Um, but no, so I wouldn't actually flip this around. I see what your point is, but let's play with the scenario at least for now. That you have a consumer and you have a journalist, right? And we're preventing the consumer from entering the admin system. So that's why we want to actually spell it out here.
Mm.
That this one is if this evaluates the true, then we render the create error, basically.
Mm.
Because also later when you have other roles and so on,
Ex-
this is the one that it should be prevented. I mean, there
oh,
will be multiple roles, but they should be prevented from entering this site. So I would actually keep it like this.
but when we get, for example, a subscriber question mark, then we have to add that in there. But I guess
So
it's
so
for
yeah,
both
yeah, we
sides.
we could we could say resource subscriber, absolutely. Now the thing is that later on this should be dealt with by Pundit, and authorization library rather than having a lot of checks in your own code. Do you understand?
Mm.
But it's out of scope to install that at this point. So,
Sure. Sure.
but I just while you were taking a leak, because I assume that that's what you're
Mm.
doing. I just added this public system block, and we're allowing uh, both the
Cool.
consumer and the journalist in, and we're pretty much done with the story.
Right. So I was thinking the public system for our PR at least that would be out of scope because we don't even have a public client or a public user.
So I
Or
would agree with that. This is a bit of a corner case. We can remove this, but like for testing purposes, I
mm.
would say you're right. You're not wrong, right? But in any way, but
Mm.
I would say like a telephone. The only way for you to actually test if a telephone works is if you can actually place a call. This actually means that there must be at least two telephones in the world for you to test that phone, because otherwise you will. It's just theoretical, and in a way, I would say that this logic applies to this one as well. You want to no, but no, actually, when I'm saying this out loud, it's enough with this thing. So yeah, I can probably remove this public system from this thing. If you want, I can remove that.
Well, you can leave it in. It's just
Are
for
you sure?
well for our benefits,
Are
and
you
then we
speaking
can
for
leave
the
it out.
entire group?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, then I'm gonna leave it in. So sometimes rules are to be broken, I guess. Uh, I don't know, but yeah. So this is pretty much it. Now that I think of it, uh, what we did here, even though we we had to override a bit of device token auth functionality, I still think that this is the lowest hanging fruit in terms of authorization that is role based. I improvised this a little bit. Never done this before, but now that I see it, I think very humbly, this is a fucking great solution.
Mm,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, no, we were
It's
we were
nice to
talking
see.
about this a little bit yesterday. Like, okay, we have to, I guess, go and override. But then we were just met, by a incompetent blogger. We had no idea.
I got it.
So,
So
so this
so
is
Yeah.
a
the lessons learned here is that everything is overwritable,
yeah.
right? So because it's such a modular system, and you can
Mm,
always tap into things that you use, and if you use class notation in JavaScript, you can use a similar similar things in JavaScript. Not exactly the same thing, but similar. Um, no, so yeah. Um, and you also got a taste of this TDD BDD approach. The acceptance unit test cycle. This is what kind of makes it into a feature, in my opinion, because you actually have some sort of interactivity. The thing that you submitted yesterday
I
was
agree.
good in technical terms, but that's what it was. It was a technical thing. It was a chore. It wasn't a feature. A feature needs to have an interface because it brings value or an effect on things, right?
Yep.
So yeah. Um,
No, I agree 100%.
from public system, right? Right, and so git push origin role-based authentication, and now we got this thingy. So we just do open like that, and I will leave it up to you to deal with this. This is a gift from me to you guys on Ascension Day. I
It's a
will
nice
be.
gift.
I hope you keep me in your prayers, but
Absolutely.
I will give you the ability to recreate the story or modify your story and do whatever you need to do with this thingy. But this is the solution I could come up with. Kim, did you learn anything by this session?
That NetOnNet has some deals and Happy Socks has collaboration with Minecraft.
All
Same
right.
here.
All
Yeah,
right.
I got commercials, so I have to watch the VODs. So
Is
I
there other,
couldn't
so
really follow myself.
look, you're the expert here on Twitch. What can I do to limit those commercials?
Well, I didn't get any. What the hell?
I don't know
I
if you
got
can
commercial.
limit them.
I think I can put on some ad blocker.
You can either because if you don't play them by yourself, Twitch takes over.
Mm.
And there's something you can read the documentation about how often they expect you to send them. I haven't read it in a while, so they might have updated it. There is ad blockers out there, but but it's finding the right one that Twitch doesn't detect. But other than that, yeah, it is what it is. You can have there's some that are onboarding adverts. So like when you join the channel, it gives you an advert and it usually keeps you going for a while. But that's in the settings, and yeah, I haven't been on Twitch in a while streaming, so I need to
Okay.
read up about it again.
Okay.
Other than that, if you've got an Amazon Prime, it's just a quick little subscribe button.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys have Amazon Prime, then please subscribe. I did turn off them for subscribers, didn't I? So you're not getting them, Luke, right?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I haven't had them
Good.
today.
Yeah. So you need to subscribe, people. I'm sorry about this. All right. I hope that this was valuable to my streaming guests as well. But David, did you learn anything today?
Yeah, sure. And the commercials too, but yeah, of course I did. Kind of mixed up right now because we are on the front end, but yeah, I did it.
Well, you'll be jumping back and forward probably, right?
Yeah, right now I mean. So.
Right. Let's lose the commercial discussion now. Christer, did you learn anything apart from the commercials? I know that you learned a lot about NetOnNet. I already know that. So.
Yeah, how like you said, that we can overwrite anything. I didn't know that. So it was nice to see you show this to us. So it was nice to see.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Lucas?
Yeah, no, the same. Like this opened up, I guess, a whole world of
So we can overwrite.
customization. It's like okay, we can do anything. It's pretty cool. And you even did it kind of with ease without knowing really what you went into, which was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Really good session, I think.
it you know that comes with experience because I've been
Sure.
dealing with a lot of stuff before. But it's just code, 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 and then you get into this flow. Arun, did you learn anything today?
Yep. Role-based authentication and overwriting. I think
Mm.
is it's like I guessed the how to do that, so that is good.
Awesome, awesome. Luke.
Yeah, well, I jumped. Steven, I jumped in kind of at the end there, but knowing that you can override things without maybe sort of putting a detriment on the rest of the functionality would be an interesting thing. So I will probably watch this one back and go through the whole thing, ready for when I jump back to the API.
Cool. And Seva finally.
Yeah, so I think it's an interesting session by what the guys are talking about. So I will need to watch it later because in the end, like I don't understand anything what's going on.
Well,
But yeah, I think I just need to rewatch it. It's something definitely very useful.
that's the spirit. That's the spirit. All right, guys. This code is pushed, and we will move on. I need to take a bit of a break, but if you guys are up for or need any other support in terms of your front end application, I know that you guys are struggling, or I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, but I assume that you guys are has halted the development on this React router thingy. There's a PR pending that hasn't been updated, at least not last night.
No, we went we in terms of the functionality side of things, we swapped it around that we had the create action first before the login feature.
Yeah, because we were afraid that you will say login is not a feature. So
It is not a feature.
yeah, that's why we kind of just put it on hold, basically.
Yeah.
So is
But
this
the article stuff is updated, and actually, we believe you can merge it,
is
and
thi-
we can do login now.
this one?
No,
No,
the admin one.
Oh, and just tell me about this one. What's going on in this one?
It's work in progress right now. It's almost done.
Okay.
Like
And
1 hour
what
maybe
is
left.
it supposed to do? There's
Just
no
page layout and
Showing the main
That's
article
it.
as well.
You're actually removing Redux?
what?
You're removing Redux?
Am I Kim?
It says here remove Redux, so I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah, we installed it first, and then we're like, okay, we gotta get it to work first. The other way, and then I forgot one thing in the stub. Pretty much, I fucked up before, so had some problems before, but now we can start with that refactoring shit. pretty much.
Right. Okay, so let's have a look at this one then. So there's a PR here pending. No, that's the client. No, we were
Yeah.
looking at the the admin. Here we go. There's a PR. There are two PRs. Journalists can create an article.
That's the one.
Journalists can create an article as a journalist.
Yeah, we need to. I need to update the name on the work in progress one.
In order to get an article, I need to be able to fill out the form to send it that. Or so when I read the code, will I see that this guy is actually a journalist?
No,
Okay.
not no. It would be. No, we've not done that in any way.
Okay. So we can just change this as
As
a
a
user
Okay. Yeah.
of the system, right?
Yes.
There is one thing, we have this scope down like journalist modal.
Yeah. True.
So it's like one place where there is our journalist.
Right.
And I left a comment on you were asking about this, like it's scoped down, and
Yeah.
said that we think that maybe in when we will be dealing with router, we will make like two dashboards, one for editor, one for journalist, because they're quite different. Editor has much more functionality, right? And it would be like the easiest thing to do, we think. Just to use router to switch.
I hear what you're saying. Unfortunately, I will counter this with this. I will counter this with this. So how about you call it a dashboard now, and when the need of actually splitting them up between an editor dashboard and a journalist dashboard, then you do that. because
It's
you can't.
premature optimization.
No, well, this is premature optimization in my opinion because you can't really foresee the future. Do you understand? And I'm just being obnoxious now, but I want to force you to think. That's
Yeah.
you. We can let this slip, of course. It's not a problem. But what I'm saying is that if you are thinking in that particular way, because they are different. A, you don't know if they are different. You can always abstract that away and have conditionals. B, if they are, I would actually go with creating a generic dashboard now and then split it up later on. Actually, because I reacted to this thing that the dash, the journalist thingy is a bit too scoped. But you know what? I'm gonna, it is Ascension Day, and Jesus Christ is talking to us one way or another, even if we believe in him or not. So I'm gonna let this one slide, of course, and I will not get into a long debate whether what is right or wrong. However, the only thing I'm asking for is that you talk about this in the team, and you make a decision. Do you understand? But just have a discussion about what is the correct way or not the correct, but the easiest or the most agile XP way to go about this. Okay. So that's the only thing I will say. And also, please do not use divs as wrappers, but rather fragments. That's uh, right.
Unless you style them right.
Unless you unless you have precisely prevent default regulate async events, right? Right.
Did you guys have the Redux error still?
No.
No, we fixed it. Like we just added this empty state basically, and it started to work. So it has like a default state which is empty basically. I
You
guess
needed
that's-
that? You really needed that?
Yes. Yes, in the oh my god, how it's called.
Store.
That's okay. That's okay, Seva. It's okay. Life happens around us. Don't worry about it. Be nice to your
Yeah,
wife.
in
Don't give her that look.
in configure store.
Because you see, if you give her this look, she will probably throw one of those plates in your head. So
What look?
I was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Modules article. Right. Okay. So I have a few comments on this one. How about you do something like this? You say const article equals equals an object, and then you say create you can mute yourself for a sec now, so that's okay.
That's not me. Yeah.
Who is that? Oh. Okay. Yes, so you do async create, and then you do your stuff here. Yeah, you're right. Event category, right, and then just do your stuff and return, whatever. So and then in your right, and then you could in your you do a default export default export default, sorry, export default article, perhaps articles, article, well, it doesn't matter if it's article or articles.
Singular, because like we're creating one article. I think.
Yeah,
So
well,
we can do
well,
everything.
but the thing is, this is an article service. Do you understand? Like you would,
So-
so you would have now later on, you could have, later on, and this is again premature optimization. Then you can have index. You can bind different options, and then you can have show. Do you understand?
So
And
this
so
works
on.
inside of an object like this.
Yeah. You bind the function. So an object in JavaScript can have attributes or properties, of course, as primitives, strings and numbers and yada yada. But you can also call complex things like functions, right? So this is the thing, that in this case you will say articles dot create and then pass in things. Do you
Yeah, we
understand?
tried to do it,
Yeah.
but we didn't figure out that we can pass it into object. We tried to do it like with class or stuff.
Something
but
like that.
it's
You can
kinda
use a
just
class.
decided like,
You can
okay,
use a class too. You can definitely use a class. I definitely you can say you can use a class here if you want, but this is a bit simpler. So I would go with something like this. Yeah, and then in your then you, because if you export this like this, then in here, where is it? Where is it?
Article create model, the other one.
Right. So here, if you follow my example, then you could do something like this. Just create. You can do this, and then you just call create, or you can do import use as just create, and then your parameters, or you could import
That goes in and grabs the action. Okay.
So you don't have to import the whole thing. You just take
no,
the
you can
create
just
or
import
index.
the yeah.
Okay.
These.
Now, what I would do, I would actually do this, because this, in your code later, this will be more readable. Do you understand? Yeah, but you can do this as well.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah. I like those.
Yes, we can do it.
Right. Yeah. And then this, now it's kind of resembles, if you look at it, it kind of resembles a controller. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But you're doing the Axios stuff and all of this stuff, but you're like you have a one big object with the CRUD actions received, and then you don't have to use those nouns like create articles, show me one article or two. It's you are more restful, even though you don't necessarily have to be restful, but it is more rest like, and I like this a lot because I'm so filled up with myself or something. I don't know. That's what I would go with, probably.
Not bad.
Definitely check that out.
Oh God, we should have more of these sessions because I love the feedback. I love the feedback.
And these are cool.
Yeah. All right, folks. This will do it for me. We've been at it for an hour and a half. I guess you guys need to eat some breakfast or whatever you're doing. Oh, it's lunchtime. Okay. I think my wife is calling on me. So thank you very much, and thank you, viewers. And I will be online later tonight actually, to do some. I have a testing session that I would like to run, and we're also going to run our Agile Ventures event later today. So if you haven't signed up for Agile Ventures, please go ahead and do that. It's a fantastic opportunity to get together with other developers and do some social coding. More on that at some other time. Thank you very much, everyone. Stay cool and stay safe.
Thank you, Thomas.
And have a great Ascension Day. Thank you.
Goodbye.
You too.
You too. You too.